And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the East Brunswick Township Council meeting for May 13th, 2024. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of personal reflection. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Ms. Lawful, please call roll and read our statement of adequate notice.
Councilmember Hall?
Here.
Councilman Wendell?
Here.
Councilwoman Winston?
Here.
Councilwoman Zimbicki?
Here.
And Council President McAvoy.
Here.
Also present, Mayor Brad Cohen.
Here.
Administrator Joseph Sculo.
Here.
And Township Attorney Anthony Iacoca.
Here.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required under Chapter 231 Public Law in 1975 by specifying the time, date, location, and to the extent known, the agenda, by posting a copy on the bulletin board located in the main lobby of the East Brunswick Municipal Building, providing a copy to the Home News Tribune and the Asbury Park Press newspapers, posting a copy on the Township's website, and by filing a copy in the office of the Township Clerk, which will be entered into the minutes.
Thank you. Council, you have before you Resolution 24-143, adopting the meeting minutes from our meeting on April 25th, 2024. May I have a motion?
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
Is there any need for correction or clarification on these minutes? Seeing none, roll call. Ms. Lawful, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicki?
Abstain.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Council, we have a mayoral proclamation recognizing the month of May as ALS Awareness Month. Mayor Cohen, would you please read this material into the record?
Certainly. Whereas amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, known by many as Lou Gehrig's disease, is a progressive, fatal neurodegenerative disease in which a person's brain loses connection with the muscles, slowly taking away their ability to walk, talk, eat, and eventually breathe. And whereas every 90 minutes someone is diagnosed with ALS and someone passes away from ALS, on average, patients diagnosed only survive 2 to 5 years from the time of diagnosis. ALS has no cure. People who have served in the military are more likely to develop ALS and die from the disease than those with no history of military service. And whereas securing access to new therapies, durable medical equipment, and communication technologies is of vital importance, clinical trials play a pivotal role in evaluating new treatments, enhancing quality of life, and fostering assistive technologies for those living with ALS. And whereas we celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Ice Bucket Challenge through a renewed commitment to galvanize public awareness and support, funding leading to significant investments in ALS research. Whereas the ALS Association, the largest philanthropic funder of ALS research globally, has committed over $154 million to support more than 550 projects across the United States and 18 other countries. And whereas our commitment to accelerating the pace of discovery remains unwavering, fueled by the hope that one day ALS will be a livable disease for everyone, everywhere, until we can cure it. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Brad J. Cohen, Mayor of the Township of East Brunswick, along with this Township Council, recognize May 2024 as Amyotrophic Lateral Sclerosis Awareness Month, and urge all residents to join in supporting ALS research, advocating for increased funding, and standing in solidarity with those affected by this relentless disease. Given under the hand of the Great Seal of the Township of East Brunswick, this 13th day of May in the year 2024.
Thank you, Mayor. Is there any comments from the council?
Just want to add that the library has already put up a very large desk with information and connections to resources already if you go into the library right at the front desk. So clearly everybody's on board with that, and it's really a relentless disease that I hope that someday in my lifetime we could see a cure to.
Mayor, has research ever shown why it's more prevalent with military?
A lot of them believe that it's related to Agent Orange. It's as a neurotoxin. But exactly the connection and how, not really.
Never knew that one. Council Ordinance 2406 is on the record for its second reading. Township Clerk, please.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 75 of the Township's Uniform Construction Codes of the revised general ordinances of the Township of East Brunswick.
And a second?
Second.
I'll now open this up to the general public. If the public would like to address this issue and this issue only, the microphone is yours. Seeing none, we'll close that public portion. And roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Council, you have before you Resolution 2407. Ms. Lawful, will you please read that?
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 209, Section 62, entitled Schedule 23, Speed Limits of the Code of the Township of East Brunswick to amend the speed limit on New Brunswick Avenue.
May I have a motion for that?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Second.
Let's open this to the public. Anyone from the public wishing to address Council President on this issue and this issue only? Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilman Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. And our third and last ordinance regarding a second reading, Ordinance 2408. Ms. Lawful, will you read that one, please?
A bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements in and by the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $3,371,600 therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $3,203,000 in bonds or notes to finance part of the cost therefore.
I have a motion for this?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Well, I'll open this up to the public for the public to make any comments on this ordinance only. Seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy.
Yes. Let's move on to our reports section. Mayor Cohn.
Thank you, Councilman. I see that Tommy's here. Are you going to talk about the Vietnam Wall coming? Okay, then I'll leave that off my list. As many of you know, we approved almost a year ago a ice rink to be put up behind the Lowe's, right behind the project that's by Legacy. That was almost a year ago. Many of you realize that following that, we had to go to the DCA to get approved so that we could limit the people applying for the ice portion of the rink, because we felt that that was something more highly specialized, and we wanted people that had expertise as that. That process took us months, but we finally got that to be approved by the DCA, and that was part of what should have gone into our bid document. The bid document was then looked at again by the DCA. It was their suggestion that we split that into two separate bids, a bid one for the rink and the ice part, separate part for the building itself. Why they couldn't tell us to do both at the same time is beyond me. That would have saved us months, but they didn't. And then we went through the process of separating those bids, meanwhile keeping in mind that every time you add professionals to do this work, you're getting billed by the hour to do that. Eventually, it made its way to the comptroller or the OSC office, which is a part of the state that's basically a building filled with lawyers that looks at every contract that goes, no disrespect, by the way, to the lawyers in the room. But I mean, if you ever wanted to know why anybody would go postal, that would be it. Because listening to what they did and the process that they took us through for a relatively straightforward contract, albeit expensive, but relatively straightforward, is beyond unbelievable. At the final point, which we're just about at now, they asked us to agree to certain terms which we put into the contract, legal terms that the state requires, all in the attempt to make sure that we almost insulate ourselves from ever getting sued, which will never happen because there will always be somebody who could find a reason if they wanted to break whatever protocols and provisions they've put in a contract. But beyond that, they took us to a point where the township wanted the ability to not accept both contracts, even if one were to be compliant and the other one wasn't. We want both of them to be compliant, to be within the confines of the amount of money this council agreed to spend from the outset. They didn't understand why we wanted to do that and didn't want that to be allowed. If we allowed them to do that, it would put you in the potential place of having approved a building with no ice rink or approving an ice rink with no building. And the part that's most ridiculous is about that is they didn't even see what was ridiculous about that. But we have finished a workaround. The bid for the building itself went out today. The approval for the bid for the ice part of it is expected momentarily. That will go out. Both bids is required to be returned to us by the 2nd of July so that we should have, hopefully, some good news to the township at the beginning of the summer with every anticipation and expectation for a groundbreaking this fall. But the process is the part that is so infuriating. That's what makes me so thankful that here in local government, we are really an example of how things can be done most efficiently. And that's dealing with the state. I don't even want to begin to talk to you about dealing with federal money that comes. We are still waiting for our bike path that was supposed to be based on a federal government grant that would have connected Crystal Springs and Crystal Springs and Heavenly Farms. That grant was awarded before I was mayor. That's out now 8 years ago. And we're still not through the red tape that the federal government puts in place. So that is no reprieve from the state. They actually look efficient compared to the federal government. So again, thankful for what we have here, but I wanted you all to have an update on where that stands, but hopefully good news real soon.
Council President,
Please.
question for Mr. Mayor. I'm not looking for an answer on this right now, but our bid package to those that went out today for the building, is there language in that bid package that obligates the bidder to be responsible to coordinate with the other bidder, coordinate construction practices and coordinate construction work with the other bidder that's going to install the ice rink?
Yeah, we have that controlled.
Okay, thank you. That's all I wanted to confirm, that, it wasn't just two separate contracts, it was this one has responsibility to coordinate with that one, and vice versa.
Yeah, and that's also going to be part of the work that our architect or whoever we choose to be the project manager for the project, including our own staff, which is excellent.
Sure.
To do a lot of that work. It is a highly specialized areas, the ice part, building part less so. But at the end of the day, we want a good project, and we want it coming in within the budget limits that we set.
Thank you.
Mr. Criscuolo, our business administrator.
No report this evening.
Our attorney, Mr. Iacocca.
There's nothing to report, Council President.
Township clerk, Ms. Lawful.
Just a few short items. Just want to wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. Also to residents who have animals, we do ask you that if you have not done so, to please renew your animal's license. Notices were sent out. We ask that you try to respond by the due date, which will be no later than June 1st. As it pertains to elections, we have our 2024 primary elections coming up, which will be held on Tuesday, June 4th. However, for those who need to vote earlier than June 4th, early voting begins on Thursday, May 30th through Sunday, June 2nd. The polls will be open at the Community Arts Center from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and that will be from Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please note that there will be signage available indicating where the polling location will be. Also, tomorrow, Tuesday, May 14th, is the last day to register to vote for this coming election. Okay, the Middlesex County Board of Elections office will be open until 9 p.m. to accept applications for all new registered voters. That address for the Board of Elections is 26B Kennedy Boulevard here in East Brunswick. For those who have received their mail-in ballots and you would like to submit your ballot after voting, there are 3 ways to do so. You can return it using the U.S. Postal Service, or you can drop it off at the Board of Elections. Once again, their address is 26B Kennedy Boulevard, or you can conveniently utilize our ballot drop box, which is located within our municipal complex, and it's by our municipal court and our police station parking lot. For those who are registered to receive a mail-in ballot and your current status is unaffiliated or independent, you may not have received a ballot in the mail. And that is because you are required now to declare your party affiliation in order to receive a mail-in ballot. You have until May 28th to declare your party affiliation with the Board of Elections, and they will mail you a mail-in ballot for this coming election. However, if you choose not to vote by mail, you're more than welcome to vote at early voting or on June 4th by machine. Thank you and have a great night.
That's for the primary. You have to
This is
declare
for
a
the
party
primary
for the
only.
primary.
For the primary election only.
Thank you for that report, Ms. Lawful. Let's open the floor for the public to comment.
Committee reports?
I beg your pardon. Let's get council committee reports. I'm jumping ahead of myself.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Zambicki.
All right. Rec and Parks Advisory Board, Butterfly Park is a very good note here. It's being maintained now by the Scouts, Troop 132. So that's really awesome because it does tend to get overgrown. And it's nice to have the kids step up to maintain that. Arbor Day was held at Irwin School this year. It was absolutely amazing, and our Rec and Parks Department did a great job putting it together. Principal Joanne Chmilowicz hosted the event along with our amazing teacher, Miss Michelle Moore, who had the entire school sing "This Land is My Land," and it was absolutely amazing. And we want to thank the Women's Club and Stop and Shop for their unwavering support. Dallenbach's Lake has been stocked, and we will be having our youth fishing derby on June 1st from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., so come out and join us. And this Thursday is the 4th annual golf outing for the Department of Recreation. Tee-off is at 8:30, and if you're not a golfer, you can join just for lunch at 2 p.m., so please consider doing that. June 14th is Pride at the Pool from 4 to 8. There will be DJ, prize raffles, and the concession stand will be open. And something brand new. This is going to be very convenient for our residents. The East Brunswick Recreation Department has created their own app called East Brunswick Recreation. And you can go right to that app. You can download it on the App Store and the Google Play Store, and you'll be able to buy your day pass or season pass even at Crystal Springs, programming, any events, go right to that. Makes it very, very, very simple. I'd like to thank John Roche for putting that together. The Vietnam Travel Wall, I'm not going to talk about that because Commander Cohill is here, so he is, but I'm very excited about that. And I do want to thank President McAvoy for being a part of the committee. That is very much appreciated, representing the township. The Office of Aging, May is Older Americans Month. And I have to say, our senior center is so vibrant and doing so well, and you just check the website, there's something going on every single day. The Arts Coalition is sponsoring the Queen's Ball this Saturday from 7 to 11 p.m. at the Community Arts Center. There'll be live performances, amazing food, and more. And on May 29th, The Middlesex County Regional Chamber of Commerce is celebrating those that go above and beyond. And our very own Ronnie Lee is being recognized as Community Volunteer of the Year. And how awesome that we have somebody from East Brunswick being recognized. So thank you very much, and that's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Zambicki. Anything else? Okay. Let's move on to our public comment section of the meeting. And Ms. Lawful, will you please read our public comment statement?
The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. In accordance with NJSA 10:4-12A and the East Brunswick Rules of Council, the council asks the public to limit their comments to 5 minutes or less. At the conclusion of the statements or questions from a member of the public, the council president, at his discretion, may choose to respond, not respond, or ask the administration to respond.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the public wishing to address the council president?
Mayor, Council, we're here tonight to talk about the Vietnam Memorial Travel Wall that's coming in.
Mr. Coolhill, could you just give us your name? And
Tommy Cohill, you want to address?
I would like, yes, please.
68 Wellington Road.
Wise guy. My meeting, not his. And
Wayne Lyons, 188 Milltown Road.
thank you, for the record.
Thank you.
Mr. Coolhill, the mic is yours.
So it's coming into East Brunswick on the 21st of May, and it'll be positioned up at the hotel by the chateau. Yeah. So that, and then on the 22nd, the police department are going to go get it and bring it down to the back at the mall by Penny's down there, and that's where we're going to line up and escort it down to the over here at the Municipal Arts Building. It's going to be open to the public on the 23rd to the 27th. And on the 28th, we're taking it back down and shipping it back to Texas.
How long is that open?
So we'll be opening up about 10 o'clock every morning, 8 o'clock some mornings, but 10 o'clock. And around 8 o'clock at night, we'll be shutting it down. But if anybody from the public still wants to come in, we'll be there. We have to stand the guard 24/7. So we'll be there 24/7 up there. Just so you know, we're going to have a flyover on Memorial Day at 10:40. We're going the plane is supposed to come in, so hopefully we'll be finished with our prayer or whatever else we have to do, but we will stop for the flyover. And there's also going to bring in a Black Hawk that's going to land, and that Black Hawk is going to be on the ground, and I think it's going to be down for 2 or 3 hours or something, and then it's going to take off again. And also the state police are going to be bringing in some horses up there, so Wayne volunteered to follow the horses just in case anything happens.
Always right behind, Tom.
So the kids will see that, and I also understand that the state police are going to have a helicopter flyover also. So it's going to be long days for us up there, and hopefully everybody comes up and enjoys themselves. I do want to thank Councilman President Kevin McAvoy for coming on our committee. I also want to thank our police department and the Parks and Recreation, they did an amazing job to help us out, and also the county for all the help that they gave us also. It's been about, I guess, 2 months now with meetings almost every other night, and we just hope that the people of East Brunswick will come down and see the wall that's been long overdue in this area, not just this town, but in the area itself. Any questions?
Sure. The one piece you left out, Wayne and Tom, was the Rolling Thunder.
Oh, yes.
Want to mention
Yes.
that to our community?
Yes, Rolling Thunder and the Blue Knights motorcycle groups are going to be escorting the wall down to the Municipal Arts Building. We'll also have the East Brunswick Police Department there, and the fire engines are going to be there. And so they've been great help to us. The Rolling Thunder, they've been coming to our meetings, sitting in with us all along. And, we're doing the best work we can anyway. We're not inventing the wheel. It's been here before, not in our area, but before. So hopefully we'll get good weather, and that'll help us also. There is one other person, well, Wayne Lyons, obviously, he's always helping. But Tony Finelli is the brains of this thing. When I came up with this idea of doing this, the first person I went to was Tony, because he's totally opposite than me. He's got a great mind and a great brain. So we use Tony every place we can. So any other questions?
Please.
Council President, the township is working, advertise this out. It's been on our Facebook page for details. Mr. Zuckerman has been nice enough to create an entire website with a lot of details on there. So anybody that's looking for details, what time is something happening, on what date. You also worked with me today. We made a most frequently asked questions about the event and so on, and it's all out on the township webpage. So if you go to our main site, community, you'll see big bold letters, the Vietnam Memorial. Click on that, it'll bring you to a separate page that has everything that we thought of listed, and I know that Robert's been involved at the meetings, and certainly if you could have your team review that and make sure we keep that up to date, because Robert's able to do that anytime we need him to do. A lot of people want to know when certain events are going on, can just go to the website. It changed with the helicopter, change with anything, Robert will update that so people don't show up at the wrong time or miss an event. So Tommy and his team and you have been working with Robert, and he's been shepherding that for the township. So I just wanted to add that in if members of the public would like to know specifics. Thank you, sir.
And I want to thank Rob Zuckerman too. He's been doing yeoman work over there with us. He's been aboard with us right from the get-go, and he's been amazing. He's been amazing.
Before I surrender the microphone to Mayor Cohn, not that you left out Mayor Cohn, but Mayor Cohn has played a major, major role in getting this off the ground and then getting it running. Because when I came on board, it was chugging along, and all of a sudden the mayor got involved, and yeah, we can do this, and yeah, we'll do that for you. We'll do this, we'll do that, and just like Mr. Crisculo said as well, the amount of time and energy and free financial advice that they have given to us has been astronomical. And so from this day is to you, Mayor Cohn. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I didn't need to say that.
I went to Mayor Cohn I think the first week we decided to do this. Him and I took a walk around the lake over here. And I had asked them if they would move their service, the township service, up there if we get the wall in, and he said he'd love to do it, and he was on board right from the get-go. So I thank him too. Thank you.
Well, thank you. You didn't need to mention that, because I think that's really just what we do as a town. We all work together when something this important comes here. So the thanks really goes to you. I think it's pretty amazing that we got it, and that we got it on Memorial Day weekend. That's just such a great time to be able to celebrate something like this when the whole country's celebrating, and it's going to be here in East Brunswick. So it's not just for East Brunswick, although we certainly are more than happy to take the credit for it, but it is something that is going to be more for the entire community. And we already see that there's more and more people that keep adding things and becoming part of the program, which is why you need to keep going back to the website. A lot of kids from our schools will be doing different musical performances. Our Boys and Girls Scouts are going to be involved. So it really is a coming together of the community for something that really is a significant part of our history that often gets forgotten and shouldn't be. So I thank you for bringing that here, getting this all started, and this is just what we do. We come together as a community when it's something that's that important.
Thank you.
And added to that salad bowl of everyone working together, Mr. Reisner from our Parks and Recreation and Mr. Kosick from our emergency management. Both of these guys played a significant role in answering questions that were being formulated at the table when we met.
Yes, they did. They do.
We have a meeting tomorrow.
Yep.
At 1.
With them. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
One
Thank
other
you.
thing, Rolling Thunder is also coming in on Saturday. They're going to come in from Homedale.
Right.
They have a ceremony that they do at the Memorial in Homedale, and then they're riding up in force to our,
It's going to be real exciting.
it's going to be, that one, it's going to be a good one.
Because that's where Mr. Kosick called it, they're going to ride the wall, he's going to break the motorcyclists down into single file, and they're going to boom, 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 and make their way around the wall. It's going to be so exciting. And the weather report looks great,
Yes.
and it's going to be fantastic.
And as the
thank
mayor
you.
said, this is not only for East Brunswick. It seems to be the county's, the whole county's involved in it. And we're getting people coming down from Newton. We're getting people that are coming up from Atlantic City to come up and see it. We have buses of.
Tommy, you mentioned the buses, right?
Yes, yeah.
Busloads of people
Yeah,
coming.
they're coming up from Tenton Falls.
Beautiful.
Yep. It'll be good. It'll
Oh,
be
yes,
good.
it will be.
Thank you all. God bless. Thank
They
you.
updated Rob and Tony updated the schedule today.
Yes.
So I think it's going out tomorrow morning, or he might have put it out
He put
already
it up
today.
already.
Okay, so
Yep.
it's out there and it's open. And we also have a donation page attached to that, by the way.
And he's got a link to that from.
Yes, he does.
Thank you, guys. Thanks. Thank you, guys.
And we're selling shirts up there,
Oh, that'd be great.
so, thank you.
Anyone else from the public wishing to address the council president? Seeing none, we're going to close the public portion. Let me open the floor for the public to comment on the 2024 budget. Is there anyone who wishes to address the council president as to the township budget? Seeing no one, we'll close the public portion. And we can move to Resolution 24-144, the 2024 budget amendment introduction. May I have a motion
So moved.
and a second?
Second.
Any council comments on this resolution? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zimbicky?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Before we get to our consent agenda, could you, Ms. Lawful, read our consent agenda statement?
Resolution 24-145 through Resolution 24-160. The following items are considered routine and non-controversial items by the Township Council and will be enacted upon one motion. There will be no separate discussions on these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda to be discussed and voted on, following the approval of the remaining items listed on the consent agenda.
And councilors want you to know that I have pulled Resolution 24-153. We're not ready to move forward on that. May I have a motion?
Can we talk about 24-145, the PLA?
Sure, let me, yes. You want me to separate that, Jim?
No, I just want to,
125?
just
The
let's
floor
have
is
a
yours.
conversation before we go into it.
Yep.
Because, I mean, we as a council, in my experience, are required to bid to contractors that are, that may not be union, but need to be
Prevailing wage.
prevailing wage. What is this resolution,
Which number, Councilman Wendell?
24-145?
145. okay.
What is this resolution stipulating for us?
Mr. Criscuolo,
Are
do
we
you want to?
stipulating a union agreement? Or are we stipulating,
To the attorney
Okay.
on this one, because they drafted it.
Yeah, so regarding the ice rink, the state comptroller is requiring that all of our bids specifications contain a provision that will require a project labor agreement for all rink facility work done. So therefore, this is yet again another requirement from the State Comptroller's Office. So this resolution is basically, it's required by State Comptroller, and it basically states that all bid specifications regarding the ice rink will require a project labor agreement.
But explain to me how that exceeds the, prevailing wage versus union labor, project labor with the building trades.
It's in addition to the prevailing wage provision.
It's a prevailing wage provision.
It's in addition to.
In addition, so we're going above and beyond.
Correct.
Why is that?
The State Comptroller is requiring it.
That seems ridiculous to me. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with the union labor, but for the state to require us to put in our agreement, or our bid package, that it needs to be union labor above and beyond what is required under state contracts?
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, please.
Because it's my understanding, I'm sorry, thank you.
Okay, yeah, please.
It's my understanding that a project labor agreement is not just union labor. It's also, skilled craft workers. And the ultimate overall goal of this is to ensure that you have people that are competent, and it eliminates costly delays and change orders that often occur. So it's not limited, from what I understood,
Right.
to just union. It's just saying skilled craft workers, that they have to meet certain conditions. You can't just pull somebody in off the street that says that they are a carpenter or whatever, or have carpentry skills.
Yeah, but, to me, we're being required here.
By law, though, right?
To
By
be-
law?
Yeah, it's pursuant to the state statute, NJSA 5238-1. It's basically the project labor agreement statute, and the purpose of it is to ensure high-quality workmanship and job performance. And it's to promote integration of work schedules, to promote orderly bonding procedures involving labor disputes and so forth. So the statute applies to state projects, and here the State Comptroller is requesting that this statute apply to the ice rink facility to ensure that we get the highest quality workers and make sure that the job is completed.
Are they requesting or requiring?
Requiring.
Okay. And therefore, we are complying with the statute.
Well,
I don't know how far I want to keep this going, Jim.
I just find it, in the 14 years I've been sitting here and all the projects we've done, we've never been required to have a PLA on any project we've done, whether it's the ice rink, a parking garage, anything of that nature. And I don't know why, and this is a small project, I don't know why we are under the scrutiny of, was it the DCA or whomever that's telling us we need to put a PLA in place?
But we are. We're going to put a kibosh on this conversation. Councilwoman Winston, please.
My question was just going to be, is it because it's such a specialized type of work that it's not something that's common? Is that why maybe that is required for that type of work, and maybe there's
could
safety
possibly
concerns, or,
be an answer.
just
And that's-
because of the
yeah,
type
that-
of work that's
No.
being done?
It seems to me that we don't have the answers to that question.
What I was going to say, Council President, is because we went out under the special pre-qualification requirements, we opened ourselves up to this scrutiny. So this is a special project where we requested pre-qualification because of the specialized nature. Therefore, we're following the State Comptroller's procedures, and one of them now is the project labor agreement
That's right.
requirement.
So this is only for the ice-related work?
It's only for the ice rink.
Not for the building?
For the project, the entire project.
I don't agree with that.
Right, but, and your disagreement is accepted. However, this is a New Jersey state statute that we are complying with. If I wanted to bring forward my opinion, it would all be union, period. None of this prevailing wage stuff, none of this PLA stuff, just union workers.
No, I get the prevailing wage stuff.
I know you-
understand
I
that.
know you do.
I agree with that.
But I'm just saying, my opinion is take that to the next step and make everybody union before we bring a rat and, put it in front of this rink that gets constructed. But let's move to a point where get a resolution for 24-145 through 24-160.
Can we separate 24-145?
No, we're going to vote on that, Jim.
No, I just want to separate it. I want to vote on it
Oh,
separate.
separated okay, so let's go 20,
And maybe, Anthony, I didn't hear you. There's a dollar threshold on this, which forces us into this as well. Am I correct? That's correct. See, that's the difference.
so we'll go resolution 24-146 through 24-160 minus resolution 43-153. May I have a motion?
So moved.
45.
145.
Right.
Second.
Second.
Well, 1 second, please. 145, we've pulled that.
Did 146
We're going to separate the vote on that. So that consent agenda, may I have a motion?
So moved.
And second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. May I have a motion for to a resolution 24-145?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
No.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. And then we have ordinances for introduction, ordinance 24-09. Ms. Lawful, will you please read?
An ordinance adopting regulations for privately owned salt storage and supplementing and amending the Township Code to amend Chapter 166 entitled Property Maintenance Code.
Mr. Criscuolo, a quick comment on this?
Yes, the new stormwater management regulations require that private properties and property owners adhere to certain criterias which to monitor their stormwater management. One of them is if they're going to store road salt on their property, they have to safeguard it from going into the storm drains. So that's part of the new stormwater regs, which I wholeheartedly agree with. Salt gets in storm drains that can eat away at the cement pipes and ductile iron and so on that could be buried in the roadway. So
Thank you.
I think this is a great idea.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any council discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Another ordinance for introduction, 24-10. Ms. Lawful, please read.
An ordinance of the Township of East Brunswick, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 158, Parks and Public Lands of the Township Code to make public urination and defecation unlawful.
And Mr. Criscuolo.
I have no words.
No words for
How
clarification.
is, I just got to ask, how does this have to come up now? And one
Right.
would think that this would have been buried in our.
A long
in
time
our
ago, all right.
Public ordinances many, many years ago.
We are going to make it quite clear with this ordinance. I've worked with our esteemed attorney on a lot of things.
Okay.
This,
Listen, I get the clarification.
Right.
It's surprising to me that this is something we're talking about in this day and age.
Right,
Don't be surprised.
that's right. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hall?
Yes.
Councilman Wendell?
Yes.
Councilwoman Winston?
Yes.
Councilwoman Zambicki?
Yes.
And Council President McAvoy?
Yes. Finally, ordinance for introduction, 24 hyphen. That's the one that we pulled. I had my notes right here. My notes could bite, they would grab me. And for the good of the cause.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of the good of the cause. Mayor?
Just wanted to remind people that we were all talking about May. May is a month for lots of recognitions, and two of them include, it is also AAPI month, recognition of those that come from Asian American Pacific Islander heritage. That's this month, and there's programs that have already begun throughout the township. There was one over the weekend at the library, and more to come during this month. And it also Jewish Heritage Month this month, which I don't think we have anything planned through the Human Relations Council because there's so many different ethnic groups and religious groups here in the township that they usually handpick about 5 or 6 different areas they're going to concentrate on each year and rotate that in all fairness. And that didn't make it for this year, probably another year. But I just wanted to make sure that those people that live here that celebrate and come from those different heritages recognize that they bring value to this township and are part of the fabric that constitutes East Brunswick. So make sure we all recognize it. Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the cause?
Just one more. Do you have something? Go ahead.
Let's go swing over here to Councilwoman
Just
Zambicki.
quickly, we participated last week in the National Day of Prayer. It was a small celebration at the municipal complex, but it was very powerful. There were, I want to say, probably 8, 10 different members of the clergy representing different churches, synagogues, temples, and it was very powerful, and I hope people come out next year to celebrate that, because it was actually very good.
Thank you, Councilwoman Zambicki. Councilman Wendell? Oh, I thought there was a motion to adjourn. All those in favor of the adjournment, signal with an aye. Aye, the ayes have it. Good night.